Tonight, fake money's floating around Central Oregon, and local police are trying to figure out where it's coming from. Plus, city officials are looking for another way to help traffic flow at one of Bend's busiest roundabouts. And a truck driver's near-death experience in Portland was caught on camera. Now she has a message for drivers. News Channel 21 starts now.
Now, from Central Oregon's news leader, this is News Channel 21 at 11.
Good evening, I'm Max Goldwasser, filling in for Lee Anderson. A new development tonight in the case of two children from Idaho missing since September. Their mother, Lori Vallow, was arrested in Hawaii today after failing to cooperate with investigators searching for her children. She and her husband, Chad Daybell, fled Idaho for Hawaii 2 months after the kids went missing. Vallow married Daybell shortly after her estranged husband was killed in Arizona. Daybell also has a previous spouse who's now dead. Police are investigating several counterfeit bills in Central Oregon that could be linked. Sun River Police and Bend Police and the Deschutes County Sheriff's Office have recovered fake $20 and $100 bills in the last month. Some of the locations include the Regal Cinemas in Bend and the Sun River Country Store. Officers say the cases could be connected. To find out how to tell if a bill is counterfeit, head to the web version of this story at ktvz.com. The Urban Renewal Advisory Board's been working on plans for Bend's core area for the past year. Tonight, project managers shared their vision with the community at an open house in downtown Bend. The core area spans from 1st to 4th Streets and from Revere to Franklin Avenue. It includes the Bend Central District. We heard from people living nearby and those close to the project about the plans as they stand tonight.
That's really exciting to me, to have eventually pedestrians and cyclists really taking over the central area and having the main modes of transportation be biking and walking, and I think that's really realistic.
The urban renewal plan is a 30-year plan, but the time that it takes to really see the full benefits of those investments, usually, it can take up to 50 years.
As for the short term, Allison Platt says the city's working with the advisory board on a draft plan and report. Through the spring and summer, the board will finalize recommendations to bring to city council for final approval. Clouds rolled in across Central Oregon today, but Katie Suniga says they won't last long. She joins us now with the first look at your weather. Katie.
Max, we're already seeing the clouds leave Central Oregon. We have pretty clear skies to our north, just a few clouds pushing off to our southeast, and this is something that will continue through the evening into tomorrow before we have pretty much fully clear skies for our Friday. Our temperatures right now, look at this, across Central Oregon, already 24 in Sisters, into those low 20s in Lapine, mid-20s Sun River, and getting into those mid-20s as well. Redmond and Madras, hanging on to the 30s in Warm Springs as well as in Prineville. We're going to stay in those low to mid-20s for our overnight lows tonight. Here's a look at the winds right now. Starting to die off even more, which we expected. They should die down completely tonight. Maybe just some gentle breezes, but by tomorrow they'll pick right back up out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour, maybe shifting a little bit to out of the east as the low pressure center offshore begins to move across into California. For the look ahead for the next couple of days, we will see variable clouds. A few tonight, clear tomorrow. The clouds will come back in on Saturday, and then we see that chance, very slight chance for some rain Saturday night into Sunday. But we're still going to get warmer. We're actually not done with this warm up yet. We're going to be getting into the mid-high 50s before we begin to cool back down. So coming up here in just a bit in your full forecast, we'll talk about the winds, we'll talk about the temperatures, we'll talk about the snowfall. All of that will be timed out for you coming up here in just a bit. Max, back to you.
ODOT's predicting at least one more day of work to clean up and repair the oil spill on Highway 22. The road's been closed from the Highway 20 junction to Idana since a space-age fuel tanker crashed last Sunday. Crews have removed more than 2,300 cubic yards of contaminated soil. Water samples from the North Santiam River now show extremely low contamination levels. 6 people went to the hospital after a wrong-way semi-truck crashed this morning. ODOT officials say the semi was going south when it crossed into the northbound lanes and jackknifed across I-5 near Wilsonville. The semi started a chain reaction that caused 4 vehicles to crash. Northbound lanes were closed for more than 6 hours. A trucker says a driver ran her off the interstate in Portland and pointed what looked like a gun at her. Camila Ortiz shows part of the incident caught on camera tonight.
Tracy Owens said she was driving southbound on I-5 near Tualatin Thursday afternoon when this happened. Her GoPro rolling as an SUV cuts in front of Owens' truck, then slams on the brakes. When Owens tries to move over a lane, the driver cuts her off again, forcing her into the shoulder.
You got to be careful not to flip it over. That's what was going through my mind, and what is he doing trying to run into my truck, because it's not going to be a good outcome.
The situation escalated from there.
He snuck up on the side of me and he twisted his arm around like he had a gun, and he was pointing it right at my head driving down the road.
Owens told me she called 911 right away, but stopped her camera to make sure the footage saved after she was forced into the shoulder.
That was Camila Ortiz reporting. Tracy Owens says she was on the phone with the dispatcher when the driver pointed whatever he had at her. She wants to remind all drivers to give semis plenty of space for everyone's safety. The city of Bend will test a new way to improve traffic flow at one of its busiest roundabouts. Crews will install metered signals at all 4 entrances to the roundabout at Reed Market Road, Bond Street, and Brookswood Boulevard. It's similar to freeway on-ramp meters. Peak traffic flows at the intersections from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. The city says on average more than 60,000 cars pass through the roundabout each day.
We're hoping, so again, we're trying to validate the data that we've gotten. If it is a success, which we're hoping it will be, studies have shown that it will be successful, that we will be able to implement the meter signals permanently out there, and then hopefully maybe even at other locations that we have roundabouts that may be nearing capacity.
If they decide to make the switch permanent, it would cost around $500,000. The other option would be expanding the roundabout to 2 lanes. That would cost more than $3.5 million. Today we went around and asked some of you if you think the metered roundabout would work.
It's needed definitely during ski season and school hours, so 3:30. I live further up Century, and so I just schedule my days to not have to take this area at about 3:30 because of the congestion. So if there's something that we can understand that's going to defeat that, that's great.
I think it's a good idea. Reed Market is super busy, and it makes easy for the people to go to the businesses or just move the traffic. I think to me, as a business owner, I think that's a good idea.
The test starts in a week and a half, lasting from Monday, March 2nd until Friday the 6th. Tonight we're asking if you think metered roundabouts are a good idea. To weigh in, head over to our web poll on the ktvz.com homepage. You can vote on previous polls on that page, which you'll find under the News tab. Coming up, if you're a homeowner in Redmond, you may have to pay higher taxes to keep your community safe. But first, the Nordic State Championships start tomorrow at Mount Bachelor. We'll tell you how a local couple has made it all possible once again.